What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I have some really good news, and I have some good news but also bad, and I have an update on my red RSX. I know it's been a long time, but today I want to show you guys the current state of the gray Type S that I have. Here she is, all good for the road, and as you may see, there might be something a little different on her. That's right, classic plates. She's officially registered as of yesterday. I got it insured, registered, all good to go. Car is finally roadworthy. I actually went for the first drive yesterday with it, and she drives great. Honestly, I have no real complaints besides the exhaust noise is still not ideal. So off camera, in between the last couple of videos I've uploaded, I did some things on the car just because the weather's been steadily crappy, bro. Like a lot of rain, cold rain, just on my off days. So I actually had some time finally. I pulled the car inside and I did a few things. So I'm going to show you guys what we actually got done over the course of the last few days. And yeah, we'll dive into the RSX and just show you how she's ready to go on the road. You're maybe wondering what's going on here. Still have the door panel off. Unfortunately, the lock actuator has not been cooperating with me, so I have to manually unlock and lock the door. It doesn't work with the button or the door lock switch. So I've tried like 3 different door actuators, Amazon, eBay, and my OEM one, and none of them seem to want to work for some reason. I don't know why. So that's the only real kind of, it's not really important. I mean, I can do it with my hand, but that's one of the only things left that I got to do. Just to make it easier to know the car, if somebody wants to get in it, I don't got to reach over and pull the lock. But other than that, the car is pretty much good to go. While I was in between videos, I fixed the hood latch cable right here. I actually had an OEM one that came with the car. The kid had an extra because for some reason he cut the old one. It must have broke or something. I think actually what happened was this plastic piece broke off, which is pretty common on these cars. My red car broke as well. So that broke, and instead of just replacing the little plastic piece, which you can do, he just cut the cable. And so in order to release the hood, I had to pull the cable from underneath the subframe. But off camera, replaced that. And you guys are gonna notice that she sounds a little different when I start her up. So off camera, I actually installed headers on this car. I bought some headers, got rid of that stock cat and stock header setup. So the car sounds a lot better now. There's no more massive exhaust leak coming from where the cat met up with the OEM header. And then it's got more of a deeper tone, but it's still a little raspy for some reason. I think it's just the catback that was on the car when I bought it. There's a little exhaust leak from where the mid pipe meets up, or the resonator meets up with the muffler. There's no gasket in there for some reason. I don't know why. Whoever put the catback on this car didn't put any of the gaskets in the whole exhaust. So that's one thing I still got to fix. But other than that, she's running really good. Just letting her warm up here. I also did off camera, I did a what's it called, radiator hoses, and I did a new thermostat again because the thermostat I put in there was getting stuck open and the car was just running too cold and I wasn't getting the correct heat that I wanted when I was driving the car. So I replaced the radiator hoses, the thermostat again with a Mishimoto, and I also did brand new fans on the radiator as well. So I did, as you can see here, new fan. I got a new just regular clutch fan, and then I got a new fan for the AC because the one on the AC is the passenger, and then the fan to cool down the engine is on the driver's side. So replaced the hood latch cable, the fans, thermostat, and I did new upper and lower radiator hoses, bled the system again. and we did headers. So the header install actually went pretty smooth. I didn't really have any like real issues with it, you know, just besides the gasket was missing. Also, I did break one of the O2 sensors, trying to swap the sensor from the Cat to the new header. One of them was like welded in there. I couldn't get the sensor off and I ended up breaking it. So I got to check engine light back on for the O2 sensor. But other than that, she's running really good. You guys can probably hear the little exhaust leak. It's coming from where that pipe is, right underneath there. I just showed you guys where the two bolts are, but that's where it's leaking from. There's really not much I can do right now. Besides get a new gasket. So that's on my list of things to do with this car. But for now, she's running really good. She's registered, ready to hit the road. All the speakers are done. I swapped over the black seat belts and buckles. That's all done. What else? Trying to think what else I fixed on this thing. Hood latch cable, I already mentioned that. I also got the rest of the rear interior. Oh, let me unlock it. I put the rest of the rear interior back together in here for the most part. I just got to put this panel on here, but I got all the missing pieces from the interior that I was missing. I just got to mount them in place for now. They're just kind of loose. I also scored these. They go on the bottom down here, like kind of where this plate is. So I got to put these on at some point too. It's just kind of like a little rain guard. It helps with keeping the water out of like your inside of your trunk and stuff when you're driving. Other than that, everything's pretty much good to go. As you guys can see here, black seat belts. Got the seats back in. I finished the speaker install. I just got to mess with that door panel. I haven't put it back on, like I said, because the door lock actuator does not work for some reason. I don't know what's good with that, but it doesn't seem to want to work no matter what I do to it. And the driver's side works, so it's not like it's a driver's side issue, because sometimes the driver lock actuator being bad will make the passenger one not work. So the driver one works just fine. I just gotta unlock it and lock it by hand, and then the door opens as it should. But it's just been a real pain. I got another actuator on the ground. Haven't been able to figure out why it's not working the way it's supposed to. But we're gonna go on a little test drive here, show you guys how the car runs, and then do our first fill up, full, complete. And then maybe I'll run to the parts store and try and grab a gasket for this exhaust. And then when we get back, I'm gonna explain what's going on with this jalopy here. As you can see, it has a flat tire. So I'm gonna be explaining what's going on with that. And then last but not least, I'm gonna explain where my red car has been. And I finally have some good updates. So let's go get some gas and an exhaust gasket, and then see where it goes. All right, guys, we're on the road. It's our second drive as the car is registered. She's a little loud, and the exhaust leak is pretty bad. I can hear it. It's actually leaking from two different spots. It's leaking from the muffler, and then the part that goes to the resonator to the muffler, and the resonator to the mid pipe. So it's leaking in like 2 or 3 different spots. I think it might just because the bolt sizes are wrong and the gasket is bad. So probably a combination of both. But we got her out here on the road. The idle air control valve needs a little bit of a cleaning. But here we go. hard to film and drive with one hand, but she does all right. It's definitely a little bit loud, but if I could fix the exhaust leaks, I'm hoping that might help. And then once I do that, I'm gonna either have to change out the resonator that's on it because it sounds like crap, or maybe the exhaust leak will do the trick, but we're about to find out. I'm gonna see if I can maybe get that done this week. If not, maybe this weekend. Just gonna try and change out the gaskets and the bolts and then see if that does anything for the car. But it drives pretty decent. I still haven't gotten like a legitimate alignment yet. I mean, it pulls a little bit to the right, like, but only after a little while. Steering wheel is kind of straight. Not too bad. I wish I had somebody else to like kind of record while I drive and make it a little easier. But it's definitely cool driving an RSX again. I haven't really driven my red one in like a year, and I haven't really dailied one of these cars since high school, honestly. I used to daily my black one for a couple of years back in high school. So it's definitely a neat feeling dailying an RSX again. But let me get to the part shop and then I'll continue filming after we are on our way out of there. All right, guys, we just got back from our little drive. The car did very good. No issues at all. Hitting VTEC good. The bump steer is a lot better since I used DC5 Creations rack riser. I still haven't gotten like a legitimate alignment, so the car's a little all over the road, but not too bad for Adam just doing a DIY alignment. I feel like the brakes could use a little, like a bleed or maybe new pads or rotor. I don't know. It doesn't stop the greatest. It stops like, you know, like a normal car, but it doesn't. I don't know. I'm used to like a 6-piston or a 4-piston caliper, you know, like my red car has Brembos. This thing's got, I think, 4-piston, just factory. But it's, you know, it's a Beamer. They have better brakes than Honda or Acura or whatever for little cars. So speaking about the Beamer, I'm gonna give you guys a quick update on this jalopy. I don't know if it'll even start. Let's see. I've had a bunch of different things going on with this car. BMW North Haven tried to give me a fraudulent estimate, and they told me it was a Vanos, which is like part of your timing chain sprockets and stuff. But turns out that my the tensioner pulley for the serpentine belt was loose, so the belt didn't have proper tension and the pulley was hitting the timing cover. That was making my ticking noise. So we did the tensioner bolt, the whole new tensioner because it was shot. And then once the proper tension was on my serpentine belt, I noticed that the AC compressor was bad as well. So AC compressor, whole new one, because the bearings were shot. So I had to replace the AC compressor, a new pulley, a new tensioner, and a new serpentine belt. And also I put a new coolant line because one of the coolant lines was bad. And then just as I thought, you know, everything was all good, ready to get rid of the car because I am posting it for sale, I'm on my way home and the thing just shut off on me. And I got a code for a fuel pump. So I'm pretty sure the fuel pump or the fuel pump relay shit the bed on me, because the car started back up again after like an hour. I think that the relay just got like too hot from it being worn out, and it killed the power to the pump. Because the pump still works. I think it's just a relay, but on these cars, it's not easy to change, and it's got to get reprogrammed in. It's not just like a relay. It's like a whole like mini computer that powers the pump. I don't know. This is why I'm trying to get rid of the car. I'm not very good at working on BMWs, and it's just a headache after a headache. You know, car is really nice. You know, the interior is nice, carbon fiber, M Sport steering wheel. You know, the car is nice, but I can't do it anymore. You know, so let's see if this thing starts. And I don't even know if it's gonna. Well, there it goes. But if I let it run and idle for a while, the relay in the back for the fuel pump will get hot and it'll turn back off. So when the fuel pump went, I wasn't too far from my house, and my uncle pulled me down the street with a freaking tow strap on the back of his truck, and I hooked up my what's it called, my tow hook, and he literally pulled me like 2 or 3 miles down the street with a tow hook. So this is what we replaced here: hose, new tensioner, and then a new AC compressor. You can't really see it because it's down farther, but we replaced that. I did a new oil filter, and I did an oil change. And then what else? I also got a flat tire somehow. I don't know how that happened. It happened when we were towing the car to my house. Something just caused the tire to go flat. So I gotta look into that. But she runs. It's just when you drive it for a really long extended period of time, the fuel pump thing kind of overheats. So I gotta fix that before I can sell it. Other than that, she's pretty much good to go. I would just like to do the O2 sensor spacer adapter thing, because I have a check engine light on for the O2 sensors because I don't have secondary cats. So once that's taken care of, I'm going to post the car for sale. I mean, it's a nice car. You know, I got it painted last year. I have an M3 bumper that I could put on the car. It's in there. All the maintenance is up to date. I literally just did so much stuff to this thing. I want to drive something else. I want to drive the gray car. I want to get rid of this. But it's a nice car, you know. It runs really good. The motor's strong, it's healthy. I just got to figure out what's going on with the fuel pump thing, and then from there we'll be good to go. So there's the nail. That would be why my tire is going flat. So at least that was an easy find. Fix the tire, do this fuel pump relay, sell the car. So yeah, that's my plan, is to sell this thing. I'm glad it wasn't engine issues, because as you guys might have saw in like a previous video, I mentioned that I thought it was like an engine issue, because that's what BMW, the dealership, told me, and they were wrong, of course. So they're giving me a full refund for giving me a fraudulent estimate, and they're refunding me for my hour and a half of labor that I had to pay. So they're giving me a full refund because I sent them paperwork and showed them all the parts and everything that was actually wrong, and I told them I was going to cancel my credit card payment until they sorted it out. So they gave me they're going to be mailing me a check. Otherwise, I was putting a stop payment on my credit card because I'm not playing around with that. But in here, my glorious hoard of parts everywhere. So you guys might have seen this in the background of like some of the previous videos. I've mentioned it here and there. But these are all the parts from my red RSX. As you can tell, the bumper, hood, another hood, headlights, center console, turbo manifold, piping, brakes. All of this stuff is going to be going on my red turbo RSX. So update for that thing. Thank you for waiting till the end of the video. If you guys stuck around this far, I'm going to be telling you what's going on with that. So there's nothing crazy. I'm just been waiting on funds, honestly. I need to buy a turbo, and I need exhaust piping made. That's pretty much it. I have the rest of the parts here. I just need to get some of the things buttoned up. I also have a, what's it called, fuse box that I'm having somebody redo right now, that I'm waiting to get that back. So just like a couple little things that I need before I can put it all back together. I'm going to be throwing like a test motor into the car just to mock up everything and get it all sorted out, see how I want to run everything, because I'm going to be shaving the bay. So I want to get everything mocked up where it needs to be, all the holes drilled, whatever I need, you know, and then I can fill in all the other ones. So I'm going to shave the bay and then drop the built motor in it, which is the plan to have it done for, I want to have it done for H day in June, July, August. So if I can have it done by like August 1st, that would be sick. Still a lot of work to do. I got to get it shaved, painted, build the motor, assemble everything. You know, it might not be done by then, but I would like to have it done by then, you know. It's just a lot that goes into this sort of thing because I'm replacing literally every nut, bolt, gasket, a piece of clip, everything, like all the wiring. I'm replacing everything, you know. I'm replacing the knuckle, the spindle. I'm replacing everything, you know. It's all gonna be brand new. So I'm hoping by like June, like July, like end of July, I'd like to have the motor going back in it. So we'll see how long that takes. I'm gonna try and get there at some point this week and just drop the motor in it, the one that we're gonna be fitting, drop the motor in it, and then just start mocking everything up. That way when the turbo comes in, I can get the exhaust piping made, and then from there we can make sure everything's run 100%, maybe do like a test start on the car and make sure everything works, and then pull it back out and send her off to get the bay painted. But that's the plan. Just a lot of time and money, like buying all the parts for everything, you know, because I'm doing like a firewall up restoration. I'm trying to replace everything. So that's what's going on with my red car, you know, just being patient. It takes a lot of time. It's like, I'm trying not to like give up on it, you know. It's like, it's just a lot of patience and time, but it'll be worth it when it's done. So make sure you guys stay tuned on the YouTube updates, and I thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Your heart